mainly they need to hold off their defense.
Well, let's find out. Let's get into it. Prokhorovka going to be the first map in our series between GoHard and Who Cares. GoHard is going to be on the defending side and Who Cares on the attacking side. There you have the lineup mojo. Don't think GoHard is going to go super aggressive.
We see even one I7 here coming in from Who Cares. That's an interesting one. So not like 5 visits as we are used to and 2 patchats, well, but GoHard has 2 STRV TDs. Yeah. This is really old school setup for defense, and it's a campy one combined with 2 I7s.
This lineup that Who Cares is running is something that I've actually seen being a lot run in the North American server now. I was watching it last night, and a lot of teams are running that lineup with that 1 I7 because, like, if the 5A peaks, it has a really difficult time penning that.
I actually thought when I saw I7 that it might actually go to the forest because they're going to put him in front, they're going to make a choo-choo train and they're going to push him, and if there is nothing ahead of them, they're going to try to stick him in a cap and do the pressure like that.
On an A, they just pushed him in the middle. I mean, but that can work as well. But, like, GoHard's not defending 1-2 line mojo, and the reason for this against all these Chinese heavies, I mean, it's quite obvious to us, but maybe not to all our viewers.
You cannot really survive the DPM of those Chinese heavies. Like, they can really punch through anything. 8.86 seconds, it's almost like as good as an STRV. When they get spotted, they annihilate them, and they will have the numbers. But we have a newcomer and new old-comer back to the Who Cares. Mikmek is playing again.
Yeah, Mikmek coming back into this lineup. When we playing a batch-up, we'll have to keep an eye on him and see how he does.
He used to play a light tank in Season 1, mainly, for Rage Quit. So here he is back with his old buddies under new name.
The thing is, these 5As are also firing heat.
Yes.
It doesn't really work well for an STRV.
No, it gets kind of overmatched quite a lot.
So they're pushing down 1-2 line now. They're grouped up all their tanks, all the 5As. They're going to find nobody there. Now the question is, how does GoHard hold off this attack? We have seen, I think it was even Savage Squad in a similar position as GoHard right now. And the rotation
This is really old school defense by GoHard. You can see the 2 heavy tanks in the middle, Stefan and Negative holding the flanks left and right. It's going to be super hard to pen Negative here because you need hardcore TDs like Grille used to be or something like that to pen that turret. And even then it's hard. And then you have Stefan for other side. So they can always dual tap that cap. So one of the rare options that it leaves to Who Cares to push this is usually to manage to trick the opponent, push over the middle, and then collide on those I7s.
This is the rotation they did against Savage Squad as well. They went 1-2 line, they pulled back, and then they came back across the F line to peek up and over onto these IS-7s. And GoHard is going to have to be in a good position to punish those because if there's a 5A and A2, and the other peak in the middle, it's a lot of trouble even for IS-7s.
Yeah, they made a mistake there. Actually, they didn't even leave.
Yeah, now they are.
In the back, so they had to rotate in back. So I guess this is a bit moving on from the old ways. But Zafarchik should spot them while rotating, all of them. And then we need to see how will actually GoHard do the damage because they are quite dispersed. I mean, this STRV can do a couple of the shots, but can he focus well enough before they collide on those I7s?
That was a nice shot already coming out from Kaka Collapse. And between those rails, those wagons, he needs to be careful how he plays it, obviously, in that STRV. Another nice connection from that STRV. Kaka Collapse already getting 2 shots in. Starting off strong here on the first round. He's looking towards Halu, but there's a lot of foliage there, which is the most difficult thing on those rails. All the foliage kind of blocks you from seeing where you can hit.
It really interrupts. It's not a problem if you see a silhouette. It's fine. But you don't know when will be some hill, when will be some obstruction to your aim, and suddenly you're aiming a tank and he bypasses one of these wagons, as example, and you just completely lose him in a second.
So now Stefan's still playing around here. He might pretend to be a bush at one point even. Now, what is the next move Who Cares make? Do you think they need to push their bat shots across the K line towards the hill, for example?
Well, they're now probing this side, so I guess they will try to probe from another side again and press Stefan, and they don't know is anyone where Nile is now.
Got set on fire even there for a second. Takes another one from Pure Skill. Negative Amorax as well. He needs to get out of there. The double team from Pure Skill and Pachka Pishka from the back lines coming in. Some mistakes being made there.
Yeah, that was really actually careless by Negative to go that close to the rail because he actually opened himself for shots from the forest himself. And Zafar falling down. Lucky Blast actually crossed the rail and pressed him.
Lucky Blast got across the K-line without even receiving any damage, and he put 2 on towards Zafar. Kaiser is trying to support him, but this Batshot can be a big nuisance for this T100. He does miss one. He still has 2 in the still has 2 left in his clip. He can take down this T100, but This is not a good position for GoHard.
It's not also a good position for Lucky Blast, because once he goes in reload, he's not really abundant in support. He only has Micmac, who can effectively do anything about it. If there is any kind of significant push on him, he will fall.
Well, it seems like the push is going to come out right now. There's a Batchat moving across the zero line. I think that's Failware even in his Batchat. There he comes, Failware wants to pick up Lucky Blast. There is support from Micmac from the back lines, though, but he needs to be careful as he's getting shot from the hill. And Kaiser as well. Failware down towards the one shot. He needs to pick up Lucky Blast. The miss comes out. Lucky Blast goes down. Santi picks up Zafar in the meantime, though. So it's an even trade, and Failware gets picked up by Halu. And that is not really ideal for GoHard.
Yeah, I wanted to point up one thing. Like, it's cute thing to have a light tank like T100, but I think GoHard is misplaying it in this kind of thing, because
they use it a lot.
In Prokhorovka and in many of other maps now, like it really evolves around the brawl, everything around strong pushes and so on. So if you want to utilize that light, he should be able to do some damage, or you are supposed to do a lot of damage based on him.
Well, here come the 5As from the side of Who Cares, where they're going straight up and over. Negative is the first focus. He already took some damage. They're slightly backing off now, but the damage has been done. Annihilator spotted out. Negative goes down, and 4 tanks remain for GoHard in this first round. And we wanted a strong showing from them, but it's not happening right now, as the 5As from Who Cares prove just too much to deal with for the side of GoHard.
Again, this is still not done game. There is 1k advantage here for Who Cares, but the main problem is number of the guns they have, and they are all, again, tier 10. So the light is dead. Zafar, he died more or less for free. If it was a bad shot, he could have defended himself. He could have defended himself, he could have helped Failware, they could have maybe survived even both. But like this, it's just like a waste. Waste of a round even.
Well, here come the 5As again from Who Cares, trying to peek up. Stefan takes already one shot. Gremek, Pure Skill, they're pushing forward. Niall spotted out. Pure Skill gets tracked, but look at Niall. He's already receiving damage in the backlines. That's Pashka, Piska probably. And now Stefan all by himself. Kaizu not in a position yet to support him. Still on reload. Stefan needs a friend, but there's none around. Stefan going to go down in his IS-7, and that leaves just 3 tanks for the side of GoHard. And Who Cares coming out strong on the first round of Prokhorovka. And GoHard, I think they're going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, this will actually definitely be the win for Who Cares. It's almost not possible for GoHard to do anything about it. They have only 1 budget and 2 STRVs. STRVs cannot effectively do any kind of significant push to these guys. The only thing they need to do is pressure the 1 cap, but they want to kill. You can see it. Like, they have the blood in their eyes and they want to finish the game like that.
Coca-Collapse is doing a significant amount of damage, so this man has already racked up 4k in his STRV, but sadly enough, there's just not enough tanks anymore to support him. Santi is free to peek on that rails with his 5A. He's going to put a big one into Kaizo. Actually, I think he missed. And they need to be careful not to bleed too much, but with 6 tanks left alive and 3 of them on the cap, GoHard realistically doesn't find an opening in this one.
They finally wiped their blood from their eyes and they started thinking by their brains and put someone on cap. So the cap pressure is ongoing 12 seconds. That will, of course, lure out the guys from GoHard. They have absolutely no choice what to do. It's a suicidal rush. Kaizu knows it. Everyone in the audience knows it. And the game will end one way or another.
Well, it's going to end by cap as Gremek picks up his triple kill, closes the kill on Kaizu, and that is Who Cares picking up their first round. And GoHard,
passive plays.
It's not like Who Cares is bringing something revolutionizing on the side, on their attacking side. They did this exact thing against Savage Squad.
Yes,
like they literally did this.
They're just rotating over the map. They're moving left and right. They're playing almost the same lineup as they used to. So really nothing new. Probing where is the enemy weak. They found, okay, there is a light here. He's not heavily supported. Let's go. Davai, pressure. And that's it.
I feel like that comment was like aimed at me. I'm not sure, but like...
I didn't see it, what he said.
I'm confused, Mojo.
I need to see it again.
I recognize the name, but I was like processing the comment, you know what I mean? Feels bad, man.
Who's your daddy?
What? Do you want to be?
No. I'm not Elvis, bro.
Feels bad, man.
You can see.
Huh?
I'm not Elvis, definitely.
I mean, you have a beautiful singing voice.
It's only on the showers, and it doesn't involve rock.
I mean, I might not have been standing next to your shower.
Never mind that. Back to the game, please.
But now, yeah, this
blushing moments and stuff, you know.
GoHard, I don't know. Like, Who Cares brings the same strategy, the same lineup, yet GoHard does not react well enough. You do have to study your opponent.
It looks like they're trying to play some standard, but that standard with the light, I simply don't like it. I mean, light.
I don't think he spotted Lucky Blast crossing.
He did run away, and then he just got chased, and they didn't see him on time because Lucky Blast getting to that rock without significant amount of damage, where he could just pressure him, was a nonsense. It was super risky also.
Isn't this
also really risky because if there was people covering that side, he would die.
But if you study your opponent, isn't like the easiest counter to something like this just to have the T100 and both bots sit in cave 7-8 and just wait for the bot
or just do
cross?
like Kazna and go and just face them.
Well, Mojo, second round, what can you tell me about the lineup?
A revolutionary lineup on GoHard side. 5 VZs and 2 Bachats. I guess they do want to brawl against Who Cares Now and Who Cares Capital. Same lineup as the last round.
Again,
that's rather interesting.
Again, that IS-7, I guess, to make it difficult for this 5 A's to really punch through that armor effectively. Who has the favorite side for this middle engagement, you think?
Oof. It was always about who gets focused first, honestly. When you're doing the attacking side, you have really great angles, but if you want to cross or anything, the defender will get you. It was always like that, from this exact angle.
But the 2 bots from GoHard are sitting in the bushes in G6, I think it is. Micmac spots most of the GoHard side. Perhaps GoHard just wants to push up and over with everybody.
No, I think they will just play really good cooldown and crossfire, because when you manage to separate tanks like this, like they are, and Senti is really carelessly positioned that there is no one on that side from the Who Cares, this is a major mistake by them. Because if you want to go middle, you must do that.
Yeah, Santi and now Pishka gets completely obliterated as well. The bots from Who Cares are now pushing over the rails, trying to get in the side, but I think the damage has already been done as Pashka goes down, and now Gremek's going to be the next focus. Kaizu, Failware coming across the rails. Who Cares is going to have to do some amazing focus fire to make this work. Failware gets struck in health. He's going to go down for that, but Santi in the meantime is getting focused now by Kaizu, who he picks it up. Now Gremek's in trouble as well. The rest of the Who Cares lineup is actually pushing up and over, focusing on towards Annihilator, trying to take him out of the game. But with that initial trade, I think the damage is already too far gone for Who Cares to really recover.
There is too many of their guys on low HP. They really cannot deal with this. Also, Bachats are already running away in reload. You can see it on minimap. Micmac and Lucky Blast are trying to stroll away, but it will not help them. Nothing will help them in this moment because GoHard has the HP, has the numbers, and has the map dominance.
Yeah, like you said, Mojo, it all depends on those initial trades, and they were just better from the side of GoHard.
The positions of GoHard were almost like old school light tank positions, if
like
you remember from that side.
NT54.
Yeah, you push 1 or 2 lights from the left side, mainly everyone else along the middle and rail, and then you try to do damage on one careless guy. If that happens, you have the overmatch and you can push over, and that's pretty much GG.
Lucky Blast trying to put some shots into the GoHard boys, but yeah, that's a good round for GoHard though. I mean, if they win this quickly, it also counts towards the tiebreaker if we ever get there, obviously.
Potential tiebreaker, of course, but I don't think GoHard even wants to think about it. I mean, no one really wants to think about it, but for GoHard it would be a bigger loss than for Who Cares.
That's true. Micmac now the last one standing. I mean, Who Cares did get Failware down really quickly, but the difference was that GoHard just removed 2 single shooters for that. They got two single 5As out of the game.
When the first guy lost Senti, I think, 1k HP, and he had to back down, it was already over. Because losing positions, also they were 2 piled up on one spot. And you are not fast enough to push over. Even if you try, you will still take too much damage. And GoHard was already in position to help each other. It was just a no-win situation. It was brainless situation, bad positioning all over the place. And as we said, like GoHard really needs these points because at the moment they, as a favorite team, have same amount of points and same amount of played games as Who Cares. And that's not a good situation to be in.
Yeah, but I almost like this GoHard strategy, as simple as it was. I really do think this is the counter to a team like Who Cares.
This is exactly what Kazna was doing entire day, yesterday. Like it was not far away. So I guess someone in GoHard after the first game said, okay, that's enough, let's go fight.
Well, Mojo, I think you're going to be happy to see what we're going to get in Himmelsdorf. Not lineup-wise, perhaps otherwise. Let's not spoiler it just yet.
You have some inside info.
I always have inside info, Mojo. That's what I do. I'm a man that whispers into many ears.
You have a lot of little sparrows.
Exactly.
Okay. So, Himmelsdorf coming up here. GoHard some bad experiences in last matches. I can't even say they played it that bad. Just their guys against them were much better. And that's it.
Well, playing oops on Himmelsdorf is kind of like Suicide, almost.
Yeah, but we'll see today when Oops faces Ding. But who cares? Again, they won one game against Ding, if anyone watched the match. It was a super fast game because they pretty much kept rushed and surprised Ding with, again, 5 VZs rushing the cap and then just pushing over a couple of them to protect the cappers, and that was it. And Ding was pretty much caught pens down. But we will see that kind of stuff cannot work twice. It should not. Should not. Should not.
Well, I mean, that stuff on Prokhorovka worked twice, so I don't see why it wouldn't work on Himmelserv twice.
Maybe
well,
someone will turn on the memory. Okay, look, 5 visits, they're gonna rush. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, I do think that GoHard should be able to take Himmelserv 2-0 with the amount of player skill they have. Not that they've shown it so far, but like,
Wow.
I'm being honest, okay?
Wow.
What? You don't want me to be honest?
That's my job. I'm the boogie.
I was just like, you
You
know,
are a super positive ducky.
Mojo, don't even start with that. This is not the road we're going down. We're going on to Himmelserv instead. It has lots of roads as well. A beautiful castle where we can go on a holiday if you want to.
Looks nice. Nice view.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Just the weather is kind of bad.
Count Dracula Castle.
Might be in Scotland.
Yeah, I heard weather is not the best there.
I was going to say something. I'm not going to do it. Never mind, Mojo. These lineups between these two teams, E3, E4, fairly standard all around, but that gorilla on a Himmelserv.
It's so old school. I don't like it anymore. It's really weak when you actually have to fight the guys, and if you get spotted, you get annihilated. So you're gonna go hill, like Ding likes to play with that FVTD on a hill, you're gonna get shots, but if it gets to the brawl, you're like easiest target to annihilate. Still, it gives you mobility, and with this lineup, it would be one more mobile tank for GoHard, which means they can actually plug the mouses somewhere, distract the majority of Who Cares team, and then rotate with everyone else. So that can actually make it an important asset. Also, it has a huge alpha, great penetration. So as long as they manage to keep Coca-Cola's out of sight, that will pose no problem. On the other hand, Who Cares? Not really mobile setup, really surprising for them, but look at this, IS-4, that tank can almost be predicted where you want to place him. It's gonna
You mean a meritorious
dead spot. It's either there or an A5. Then we have one VZ, 2 TDs, E3 and E4. That's really hard to rotate. Like if someone actually takes over your cap, it's going to be a problem. And look at this, in GoHard, Kerry Berry playing.
I told you I had a surprise for you.
So Kaizu is actually in this game not playing, and Kerry is playing the heavy tank. Okay, Kerry was playing good heavy tanks.
Yeah. Now the question comes, can Kerry Berry carry?
We will see.
Can
When you say
Berry
that,
carry?
he usually fails. Come on, man.
Carry Berry, more like never carry.
Yeah, when you say that, he never carries.
Well, I have good faith in him, okay? He's first round of the season for him. He's motivated, young, eager.
I also heard he's a great dancer.
No, that's not true at all.
Really? Okay. Halu on Who Cares team is on a meritorious death spot. We saw him on camera in one moment. He is covered by Pashka. Pashka in a mouse from distance. So actually that tank can be easily pressured by what GoHard has.
I don't know how
Lucky
I feel
Blast
about...
is doing really risky rotations there.
I don't know how I feel about Pure the King being so isolated over there by himself. Yeah, he has 2 TDs, right? But that's also only one.
But they're really far away.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like these TDs will get maybe 1-2 shots on the crossing.
And that's a tank. And then there is not even a spot anymore.
Yeah, so they lose a spot, and then what? Then what do they do?
They clump up in upper corner and hope for the best. Pretty much.
Hold each other.
Yeah.
Weather out the storm.
It almost looks like the defense tactics of Who Cares is based on we are going to pretend there is a lot of us on the rail. But Lucky Blast is already spotted rotating in a corner. So when they see a VZ, when GoHard sees a VZ on A5, I think they can pretty much guess the rest of the tanks. Where are they?
Stefan here, he's not driving into a house, he's not disconnected, he's just trying to proxy spot the D3, D4 corner, where a lot of teams have an E3 sitting to shoot the crossing.
And we have Senti, but a bit behind. Oh, Gramek is coming to finally support pure ducking, and 2 TDs are still on the same spot. GoHard is kind of deciding slowly to go for the upper cap. They don't really want to mess with the rail.
Let's see how they dig out Halu, though.
Well, they need to do it from 2 angles. It has to be from A line and frontally. Frontally, 2 or 3 tanks shooting, and then 1 or 2 waiting back of the engine.
They left Carry Barry by himself in the south. This is where he thrives. This is a man that you don't put 1-on-1, you put him 1-on-4, and he'll still come out ahead.
He's going to tank them well. But we still have Annihilator slowly going for the 8 line, so even the 50Bs are not in the play anywhere close. He's really alone. No friends.
50Bs are hard to play tank, Mojo.
I think they're actually... Could it be that they're actually guessing that there is a low presence of who cares down on the lower part of the rail?
I don't know if they would be going a little bit more aggressive than I guess. I mean, Barry is starting to probe slowly but surely, but if they thought there was little presence there, then I don't see why they wouldn't push their mouses across.
But why would they just leave Barry alone there? I mean, they probably want to...
I mean, they can guess there's maybe 1 or 2 guys. I mean, they did get the initial spot, so they knew that the King crossed. And they know that maybe Gremek is there, most likely not, because Barry would have seen him already. So they know there's maximum of 2 tanks there. Maximum of 2 tanks.
Yeah, they know where is Lucky Blast. Like some of the old tactics before, kind of implementing IS-4, backing up this I-7 from some angle on E1, F1, if you remember. But that would leave them utterly weak against any kind of pressure on Cap 2. Because IS-4 is a slow tank and it takes quite some time. So if you combine IS-7 and IS-4 out of the picture, that would be a lost game in advance. And even who cares guys are not that crazy. So I guess GoHard is actually quite accurately guessing most of the positions for these guys. They just can't be sure where the TD is at this very moment. Because they should rotate and move.
Well, Barry spotted out Pure the King on the crossing.
That should be a big info. That should be a big info for GoHard because they should know there is almost entire team up now.
Pure the King is going to back off towards that E1, F1 position you talked about. He's going to be safe over there. If he keeps going though, Stefan will be waiting. I don't think he's going to cross any further than this. Nyland negative in the meantime are making their way towards that number 2 cap circle. They spotted out Halu now.
Senti spotted also in his E4. That's a big info.
Nile tries to trade on towards Halu. Halu gets the better of him, gives him 480. Negative trying to find an angle. It's not pen the shot. They're going to have to dig him out with HE almost.
Yeah, Halu is angling rather well.
I want to see if Nile is going to shoot the HE. There we go, 177 coming out. Hellfish would be proud.
Speaking of the devil. But Nile here is definitely in position to out-damage Halu with HE grenades. And this is the second part of the push which you usually use, because when you press from the center, from hugging this wall, you cannot really return the fire. Failware took a lot of damage for peeking there, but Halu will fall.
Halu should fall. I mean, the mouse here is trying to sim for him. Pashka Piska is on fire though. Failware took a lot of damage on the crossing. Stefan's in trouble. Zafar should be getting out of here if he could, because they're pushing all down on towards him. Mikmak coming around the corner now as well. And that's Zafar going to fall in any second now. Gremek picks it up with the double, and GoHard seem to have made a rotation, but it doesn't seem to have worked out whatsoever. Mikmak now lining up a shot, gets absolutely wrecked for that one by the Griller, but GoHard still down in HP, still down in guns as well.
Still down in guns is the main problem. They do know that Carry Bear is completely out of the game. Gremek is just down there watching when will he come so they can reorganize their forces. There is advantage here for who cares about 1500 HP. That can be compensated with good play. But the problem is the most of HP is on Carryberry, and Carryberry is far away.
Carryberry is now starting to make his way up, though Pure the King and Gremek might actually be in a little bit of trouble here because they're in a crossfire when Barry arrives. So they're going to need some support. Niles holding the other corner. Gremek,
the best choice would actually be to kill Carry now.
Well, yeah, they should turn around and push him. I mean, Bacha get on towards the side. Another beautiful shot there coming out actually from Barry on towards Gremek. And who cares, being a little bit slow with the rotations, but they are pushing forward now on towards Negative, on towards Annihilator. Annihilator getting shot from the backside. Gremek now down towards the one shot. Nile goes down. Negative soon to follow. And that will just leave Barry, Philware, and Coco Collapse with it all to do. Barry picks up Gremek, but there's still 5 tanks on the side of who cares.
Against 3. And Carry Barry is still against any kind of communication with his team. He cannot simply make it in time to help them. He cannot.
I mean, Coca Collapse goes down, leaves just 2 for GoHard. They tried pushing that 5 line, but it did seem like Who Cares was anticipating that one as they really quickly counter push. Mikmak picks up Philware in the meantime, and that leaves it Carry Barry with a 1 on 5. I've seen him win these, Mojo. I've seen him win these.
We made a video about one of these games when he was playing Kranwagen. Maybe he will be a superhero in this, but that is a random game and this is a ESL match.
I believe in the power of Barry.
You believe that he can turn...
He bounced the one shot he needed to pen. It's over. He bounced Pure the King on the side. That was going to be a
totally.
an
That would be a blow up, and then he would pull back and reload, and next blow up, and
that one shot makes the difference.
Totally.
Until then, full fate.
Well, definitely not the greatest rotations here by GoHard. They had majority of tanks up.
Failware lost 1.3k HP on the crossing.
It's not only crossing, it's when he peaked because there was a VZ behind. VZ was keeping him in a check all the time. And the problem when you dig out that Ice 4, that's the only moment you can shoot him in the back, when he peaks with the back part of the engine. That's why people keep a VZ who can angle up well and has some gun pressure in those sandbags in a little corner, an A5. I so wish we get our drawing monitors back. So we can show some of this stuff.
You have a map behind you. You feel free to draw, mate. I'll sit here.
I didn't bring crayons.
Really? I thought you have like a collection at home.
Yeah, I didn't bring them.
Hey, because, you know, Ryan likes to play with them.
Keep that guy, like AFK guy, away from this talk, okay?
Now, second round coming out for GoHard. I mean, I don't like that 5-line rotation. They knew Lucky Blast was in A5. I think it was Lucky Blast, right?
Yeah.
They knew he was in A5, so they know they're going to take a lot of damage for this. And most teams just counter push that because you cannot
it's the logical choice. When you have a slow setup like Who Cares has, and when they're set up like that to defend, the logical choice is when you pressure the cap, they are going to try to organize master forces and push. And they left Carryberry in the slowest possible tank on the map, on the other side of the map. So they really left a lot of options for Who Cares what they want to do. Like they had options to kill Carryberry first and then push on the rest of the guys.
I might have eaten the crayons, but it made me a colorful guy. I got some Kappa pride in the chat. Thanks.
You definitely will for that one.
I'm okay with that. GoHard should pick up this defense, though, to be honest. I mean, if they lose this, then I'm seriously, if they lose this round, I've lost all faith. That's it. I'm predicting against them for the rest of the season if they lose this round.
I need to see the setup of Who Cares. Okay, they are not playing this time the rush setup. We will see it in a second.
Thank God.
So this is not a recycle of their tactics. This is something new they haven't played.
By the way, completely forgot about something. Wasn't Cease in Who Cares?
Who?
Cisa.
No, he's not there anymore.
He left?
Whatever happened, he's replaced by Micmac.
Okay, interesting. That was a short venture.
A really short venture. So very scary.
Not playing.
Well, Kaizu is playing Ice 4 now. I mean, we can guess on which spot. That is so hard choice to make when you think about Himmelsdorf. And this lineup by GoHard is pretty much identical to what Who Cares had in the previous round.
So far, a standard split coming out from the GoHard side. I mean, they are sending a 50B all the way to the bottom corner. It's going to be negative.
Oh, there is one difference. There is a 50B instead of VZ.
Yeah, so they're sending negative down there in a 50B. He takes a shot on the crossing already. Nice connection there coming out. That was from Pure the King, I guess.
Yeah, must be him. No one else can shoot.
So, negative takes one on the crossing. Right, it's damage. They're going to have to bleed. There's only one thing, like, this GoHard lineup is very, very slow. I mean, overall, it's very, very slow.
It's pretty much the same, as we said, as Who Cares played last time. It worked out for them.
I mean, Who Cares still had an IS-7.
But the attacking setup of Who Cares is more decent, I would say. But they have two budgets. And those two budgets can be a big liability. Like, I mean, look at this. They have two budgets and 250Bs in Who Cares. So that's huge rotational potential. But if you do any kind of direct brawl against the enemy, who has so much armor as GoHard, it's just not going to end well. They need to pressure the cap, which they will probably try to do now. This is almost the same tactic like last time, just different tank pick. And they're going to try to single out some targets on some specific corner and then just push like a hive and overmatch.
Well, I wonder if they're going to keep going because they're going full speed. If they push around this corner, it's going to be interesting. Pure the King is going to be the first one. And he is going right around the corner. The first connection from the TDs come out. And they're focusing on towards Kaizu. Halu takes a lot now. Kaizu is going to take a lot more though. And that eyes 4. Halu in the meantime goes down. And this was one suicidal push for the side of Who Cares. Yes, they've taken down Kaizu. But Pure the King taking a lot of damage. They've lost Halu. And Pure the King takes even more.
This is the problem. Pure Ducking taking so much HP is the problem. Trading 1-for-1, you can live with that, especially if you dominate the positions. But taking so much damage on pretty much only mobile tank with any kind of armor, that's the problem. Like 506, that's more or less easy one-shot for most of these guys in this game.
Nile did take a lot of damage there, though, from Micmac and his E3 from the B0 position. GoHard now consolidated in that 5-line position with most of their team. Well, the side of Who Cares is trying to get out of there. Pure the King, though.
Oh, there is
left alone.
There is now like a secondary plan from Who Cares coming. They will pressure the other cap, I guess. But leaving Pure Ducking behind is just not going to end well. That's a gun less.
Well, Coca-Collapse is starting to hunt for it. I mean, Pure the King, you can see him. He's driving around. Coca-Collapse.
His survival rate is already written in the books, mate.
Oh, Pure the King. Coca-Collapse picks it up. That was expected. Micmac, in the meantime, takes a shot from Annihilator as well. Yeah, losing 2 tanks for that. I wouldn't say the best trade. I mean, Nile does take another big connection in return, down to 466 now.
Nile is getting owned 1-on-1 against Micmac there. He's effectively on one shot now, so he has to really be careful what he does because GoHard should not lose him. But Micmac is out of the game, and if Nile just stays there and keeps him in check, that's all good for them. They just need to pressure to make good use of Failware and Stefan now, because effectively these butchers frontally cannot deal with them.
GoHard staying together now as a big group. Zafar still in the bushes over there. They're not going to know this Baz is here, so he's just spotting out Gremek right now, so they always have tabs on where he is, where he's aiming. He's on the cap, but there's a lot of tanks from GoHard that are going to peek that corner very soon.
Anyhow, like even if needed, Zafar can rest at himself whenever is needed. So the time works definitely for GoHard here. HP advantage is theirs, number of the gun is theirs. Negative peeking like this, not cool, but still advantage is there.
Well, they're trying to peek on towards Gremek. Coca-Collapse does not penetrate the shot either, and he, lucky track shot there. Now had to use his repair kit for that. By the way, in the meantime, cap pressure has started on the other side. Micmac and Pashka are on that cap. Stefan bleeding some HP, Gremek bleeding some too. But there's 2 tanks on the cap on the other side, Mojo.
Yeah, this is actually a huge problem for GoHard. Who Cares brought a significant decision here, a good one. Thinking that GoHard doesn't have a great rotation tanks, so let's use it. So now they have negative. Nice reset here by Nile. Nice play. Oh, what a miss. Now they have a choice. How will they deal with this? The cap was prolonged, so that's really good because of the shot by Nile. And that will pretty much save the game for GoHard.
Yeah, especially because the Fartrick is now starting to push across as well as they pick up Gremek and his mouse. 4 tanks left standing for the side of Who Cares. Annihilator is on reload though now. 30 seconds left. Negative coming back towards that cap as well. And Zafar is there. They should be able to clean it up. Coca-Collapse in the meantime, taking some damage from Lucky Blast. Micmac picks up Annihilator though. They need to be careful. 18 seconds remain.
Yeah, these shots by Lucky Blast don't matter in the big picture. Big picture is happening here. If this cap gets reseted, and it will, I mean, unless he blows up Zafar now, there we go, nothing goes on. This game is lost for Who Cares. You can see it's quite obvious. Number of the guns now, there is no cap pressure, no HP, so there is nothing to do to win this game.
Yeah, Negative is now starting to push around as well. Nice connections from Pashka though, but he does not have enough shots to kill both of these guys. He might get Zafar, but then there's Negative as well. Negative peeks out. Pashka even bounces one, so he can't kill both. And now Pashka will go down in return, and GoHard holding on. But that push around the corner, I don't know if that was worth it.
No, it was something they tried to do as a surprise, hoping that they did it fast enough on the start of the game and that they will catch GoHard with their pants down as they did once to Ding. So they will just overmatch the ties 4 and pull back with maybe loss of 1 tank max, but everyone else with maybe dispersed damage or so on. But GoHard shot really well. They already had tanks position that worked in their favor by far. and the lowered any kind of rotation potential here for Who Cares. Who Cares tactics is a lot like we've seen some of these games like played by Oops also before, and other teams that like to play it mobile. You rotate one side, second side, third side, and then in one moment, like if you have enough tanks, you actually pressure both caps, and the team with the static lineup has to choose what to do. If they make a mistake, you get capped. But in this case, they simply had not enough guns for such an action.
I mean, Who Cares tried though. It was interesting up until a certain point. If they didn't lose Halu for that, maybe.
Yeah, they had a chance, especially since Micmac penned a lot of shots on Nile. So if he
I'm pretty sure Nile intended to lose that one.
Yeah, that was under control. So if he actually managed to take out Nile in one moment, because he was on one shot and he could have connected the shot through the window, the last one, that would be a whole another play. Because then Zafar would have to go without waiting for negative to reset. Then there is a high chance he would be killed. I mean, he's not the best tier 10 player in this league, that's for sure.
Wait, what? He's not?
He shines with brilliance when taking 2 shots from Pashka and missing 1 point blank.
Or you mean when taking a full clip from Papa Pavian?
Things happen, yeah. So there would be a chance then for them to lose the game easily.
Well, Mojo, Mines is going to be our next map, and it's going to be GoHard attacking first, and Who Cares defending first. Can GoHard break the defense, or is Who Cares going to go on to 3 rounds? Tell me about these lineups. Oh my god.
Okay, interesting. So Who Cares is defending with a super mega duper heavy est setup. I've seen so far 3 mouse tanks, a PZ, E4 and E4, and Lucky Blast in his T100. I guess with this lineup he must go on island on H1. He has no choice. He cannot climb up on the mountain boost. This kind of meaty setup gives a lot of resilience to Who Cares, but of course there is no possibility for any kind of rotation if GoHard presses well.
Lucky Blast has taken the island. Standard setup here for the boys of Who Cares. We're gonna have to see how does GoHard want to deal with this though. Like 1-2 line, I guess, is the obvious choice right now.
Yeah, but that's what also Who Cares thinks. So they're already pre-aiming with E4, with pure skill, and probably with E4 from the base also. So that would annihilate one tier 10 minimum.
No. So far, Kaizu managed to get 1 connection on towards Pashka in his mouse, dropping him a slight amount of HP. Stefan clipped as well, didn't get any more connections, and there's a lot of attention here from Who Cares towards the 8-9 line. They have Halu, Gremek, and Pashka. So that is triple mouse defending that.
At one moment, it will evolve around killing that light tank on H1 and pressuring the lower cap, because this upper one and these positions are definitely not the best to push. You need so much shells to take one of these mouses, and you are in constant crossfire by PZ, another mouse, and E4. And another E4. I don't think they should really push the village. Everyone, pretty much everyone except light tank can shoot if there is a push on 7-8 line through the village side. That would be almost pure suicide.
Yeah, it does look like they are moving towards 1-2 line though. You can see Negative already relocating a little bit. I think Zafar is going to be joining him in his 113, and they want to dig out this 1-2 line push. It is hard to make it work though. If they take too much damage on the crossing, what needs to happen for GoHard to make this 1-2 line push work?
They need a good distraction, but there are 2 E4s in the team of Who Cares. That means if you put like a mouse, if you remember how Oops was doing it, or some of the teams, they put 1 or 2 mouse on the middle, and they try to provoke enemy team to shoot, and then they pressure with the Bachats and other tanks from the 1-2 line. So with 2 E4s, that could be super risky, because they could actually get penned easily.
Look at the equipment choices as well for Pure the King Mojo.
Was he expecting to play against Arti?
Maybe. It's a heavy spall-liner.
Definitely, yeah.
Obviously heavy spall-liner working with I used once, I think, on my mouse. Once.
I placed it on randoms in one day when I got shot by Arti for like 5 games in a row, and was like, okay, Davai. I put a spoil liner and like a guy's after game PM me, how did you take so little damage? Why didn't this do anything? Like, finally.
So now GoHard grouping up here for this 1-2 line. Stefan gets spotted out, confirming Lucky Blast's position. Now the 113 is going to be backing behind him. And we need to see how much damage they're really going to take for this.
It's all about that. It's a pure gamble. Like you push, so negative is a sacrificial lamb. Everyone is hoping he's going to get shot and not failure, but a lot of misses, yes.
Too many misses. Both TDs actually missed the shots on the crossing.
And
both
the bounce on Zafar.
Both Senti and Micmac missed the shots on the crossing. Now Lucky Blast is in a lot of trouble as these 113s got across for free.
There is no one who can actually help now Lucky Blast because 113s have great turrets. They will position and they will annihilate him. Like he'll have nowhere to run, and they can pen him anyways because they have heat shells and high penetration.
Lucky Blast trying to do what he can, but he's already getting shots from the side as well. If he goes forwards, there's a bad shot waiting. If he goes backwards, there's a double 113 waiting. He's trying to do as much damage as he possibly can before he goes down, but still taking shots from the bat, taking even more. And there we go. The 113s pick it up. Kaizu, in the meantime, takes a lot of damage on his TVP, but he's clipping out the Panzerkampfwagen 7 on the crossing. And now, what does Who Cares do to get out of this?
They are going to try to probably push a bit on a hill, but this is too late and too slow, and these two 113s will not let them lift a finger in that way. Pure Ducking already moved away from the classic hiding spot. You can see him now on H3, H4 position, H3 position behind the rock. So he's hiding from these guys, otherwise he would be dead because they would have clear shots on him. And in this position, the only danger is if someone shoots him from the hill, and that's not going to happen because if Kaizu tries to do that, he's going to receive a big shell back. So the only way to press him now is actually to press simultaneous on Micmac, on E4, in a corner, and then pure ducking in the same moment with an amount of tanks, which they don't actually have. Two 113s cannot do that.
Nile pushing forward, finding pure ducking his side, and this is starting to look very bad for Who Cares actually. GoHard got across from that 1-2 line completely for free.
At the moment that pure ducking dies, the game is lost. If he dies for Who Cares, there is nothing they can do to defend themselves.
I'd argue it's already lost.
Pretty much, yes.
Because now the 113s from Zafar, Negative and Failware starting to make that approach. They're going to catch Pure the King from the backside. They might take one from Micmac, but the 113s have plenty of HP to do that because the shots on the crossing weren't hit. Zafar already puts one into the side. There we go. A second shot coming out and a third to finish it off. It's Kaizu from the hill to pick it up. And now Micmac all by himself in trouble. Failware gets one towards his side as E4 is not going to last very, very long as Failware is clipping him out. And Micmac down. Well, one more shot because the low roll Zafar comes in with one as well. 7 tanks alive for the side of GoHard and 11,000 HP remaining so far.
This is an absolute domination. Massacre, whatever you want to call it. Who Cares is completely outplayed. This kind of slow setup is proven over time that you can trip over it if you have no imagination what to do, but the weak spot is quite visible. What they could have done different, if you remember, there were guys who placed like a trap, like a booby trap, a bachat on K2, and when you do damage, which they didn't do when like both E4s missed, and that bachat starts clipping then when they peek around the corner to try to shoot a light, and that pretty much ends the game. It was already played in this season, but there was no such tanks. They relied completely on armor and meat and hoping that GoHard will just try to do a suicidal push.
Well, Negative and Stefan coming in with the last 2 kills, and that made a very easy round for GoHard. I think Who Cares missed like 5 or 6 shots on the crossing.
It was both E4s and
E4s.
One of the heavy tanks. That was 3 initially, and then there was one bounce that just slid off. So they penned out of 5, I've seen, fired 1. That's pretty disastrous.
They missed like 2k plus alpha.
Yes, the entire 1 tank survived. Like they really needed that later for any kind of crossfire or whatever to help them out. Maybe even a light tank would be able to finish off someone on lower HP because effectively he has time to fire about 3 shells before they kill him. Like this, it's just not going to work. Not on this level of the play. It cannot work.
Strong showing from GoHard though, coming out with that 1-2 line break, making it work, and now moving on to their defensive side, which they should technically win. That means match point.
That would mean a match point. That would mean that my prognosis would be still alive, maybe.
I need Who Cares to pick up one more round. I'm fully confident in their skills of breaking the attack.
Well, that or taking the attack on Ghost Town. Also, yeah.
It's going to be difficult. Do we expect... I mean, I do expect GoHard to just sit there as well. I don't think they're going to go for the hill.
Oh, we'll see by the lineup. I really can't say before. But for Kazna, going on a hill against them worked well. And actually, when you dominate the hill, even if you have a faster setup, you can always create great crossfires against lower tanks. You don't have to play passive on mines. I don't think so.
Oh, Mojo, second half on mines. The lineup from GoHard, very, very heavy. Oh. And then Who Cares coming in with 4 bad shots.
I'm actually really surprised by a team who just won so easily against such a lineup to actually use them themselves. And if they lose this round, they deserve, by far.
Well, we'll have to find out if they will lose it. Mojo, they might be able to hold on. Let's see if the T100 is going to go for the island or for the climb. So far, yesterday I think he went for the climb. Today he's going for the island.
With this setup, when he doesn't have any kind of other tank in a lineup, it should be the island, always. Because if you lose that spot, then who will actually do anything about the lower cap?
Look at the boys from GoHard though. They are not going straight under the hill. They're looking towards the 1-2 line. Santi and Kaizu
this is
each other out.
Zafar is actually not trying to go to standard position, at least not immediately. So there is no one who can actually pressure him. He can keep a spot from these bushes, and GoHard can still do all the shots needed.
Is Mikmak and Grandma going to try and boost?
It does look like that.
It does look like that.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see.
It did look like that. I'm not sure. Looked like that for a second. They might not be doing it anymore, though. It looked like that for a second, because they were driving behind each other. They can obviously push each other up, but they stopped. Feels bad, man. I would love to see it be
I actually think they had a viable chance because mouse tanks are so slow. They actually had a viable chance to get there.
Well, they did not go for it, so they are now just supporting. Who's over there with them? Is it the 113? I think it's Pure the King. Yeah.
Yeah, he already made away. So, you know, he's going to try to spam the mouse below the hill to push him back a bit with HEs and so on. I'm not sure what kind of play they want to do. I mean, I remember them playing before. In some moments, they would usually just, if they run out of time, they would just go and they would just go down from the hill.
Failware is also running a super heavy spotlighter, by the way.
And he didn't remove it.
No, I guess he's just running it against HE. Kind of different defense, though, from GoHard. I mean, Stefan's position so far up at the hill is not something we see used a lot.
No, but they're fairly confident that they're covering the island well. There is a lot of guns aiming that way, and if they miss it, well, Stefan will lose some HP, but he'll have time to fall down. And more importantly, Zafar will not fall that easily. Like after that initial spot, he can actually just run away behind the rock.
So far, Pure the King not finding anything, though. Who Cares is running their time. Already 3 minutes with nothing done. That's a lot for Mines. He now spots out negative. Oof, bounce there, even with his third sideways.
Well, more importantly, they actually saw Pure Ducking trying to fade away. So they have an idea that rotation is incoming. It can look like a small thing to happen here to us in a stream, but actually 2 players on the ground, that is a big hint.
Yeah, he's still trying to make it out, so he's going to try a second time to run away. In the meantime, we see the rotation. Grimek, Senti, Mikmak, and Lucky Blast are going to be making their way towards the 1-2 line. I really wonder how much damage they will take for this, because there's Kaizu, Coca-Collapse. I don't believe GoHard's going to miss just as many shots.
The most important thing is when will actually Zafar spot them? Will he spot them on time for everyone to have really good pre-aimed shots?
He should. But even if they take 1-2 line with 4 bats, what do they do after that?
Yeah, that's the problem, because Zafar is not there, so they actually don't know what is spotting them. So whenever they peek, they are going to get shot. And they really don't have the potential to push from the other side. 2 mouse tanks are not enough to break through this. Not like this. This is, I would say, a better version of that campy defense, what GoHard is doing now. And at the moment, I'm actually favoring them. It doesn't... Tactically, I don't think it looks really well for Who Cares.
I don't favor Who Cares at all, because I just don't like 4 bats.
It's super risky to play with them, especially on a map of this caliber, which is such small map.
Well, Pure the King is now going towards A4, guessing to just support Halu. Pashka is pushing up. Coca-Collapse is waiting already, though. Want to see if he can pen this shot on his E4. Don't think he realizes that Zafar's pushing, spotting him from that bush exactly.
No way. He doesn't have an idea, but I think Coca-Cola will hold his shot because he knows very well this is just a bait and he is supposed to shoot other people.
Well, Gremek is spotted out now, and so are the other two Bachats trying to make it down 1-2 line. The shot's coming out already. Gremek dropped to 113 HP instantly. Micmac taking some on the way, and that was a bounce even on towards Santi from Nile, I think, in the E4. So far, so good for who cares, but just look how much HP they lost for that. Or is Zafar go blind shot?
I think he was not spotted. 100% he was not spotted. That was a blind shot, but this is how you do it, guys. Like, look at this. Gremek is on 100 HP. Like, that makes him easy for Zafarchik to finish him off if he survives this.
He's not going to survive this. Pashka keeps putting shots there. I think he knows that the shots are not going through as well. Let's see if he can do it one more time. Nope. He stopped shooting there. Takes 692 in the meantime. Takes 682 extra from the E4s. Now he's aiming towards Zafar again. Can he pick up the T100 lifetime blind? Yes, he can. Beautiful shooting there.
This is a really nice blind shot here. Lucky Blast is actually now quite safe. This is a problem for GoHard because they will have to push over the middle a bit so they can actually shoot from above on these guys.
Taking so much damage though. Stefan and Phil were bleeding. Tons and tons of HP in those mouses. Negative as well. And Halu is still in a strong position, still full HP. Pashka goes down, but that's a sacrifice. Who cares? Was ready to make. And now Stefan takes another shot from the backline. That's still Pure the King in his 113. Now Negative pushing forward, taking damage as well. This is not a good trade for GoHard. Look how much Negative is taking. He's just bleeding more and more. And Halu still has 2,000 HP left. Pure the King and him are doing a beautiful double team right here.
Halu needs to fall. It's an absolute imperative here for GoHard to drop him because he's the only guy who can really shoot him in the back. There is a lot of HP that's lacking on GoHard at the moment, but still they have some advantage here. On other hand, who cares? He has Gremek on one shot and Micmac on really low HP. So it does make it a rather even game, but GoHard has a slight advantage, I would say, like 3 HP. He's so lucky.
Halu, that's 2 non-connections in a row. Stefan picks it up though, but now 1 minute and 3 seconds left on the cap. Lucky Blast behind the mouse rack. GoHard has bled a lot of HP for this, taking down Halu, but they're still up. They're still up in HP.
Well, GoHard pretty much knows all the positions now of who cares. It's quite simple to guess. There is one heavy there, 3 budgets down and 1 capping. So all they need to do is devise a decent plan how to deal with this. And I believe one of the mouses will have to fall on Lucky Blast in one of the future moments. Probably someone with HP like Failware.
Well, they could send 2 mouses to kill him. I mean, like, one mouse resets and a minute after the next one resets him.
Yeah, but they have not much HP, so I would say it would be better to... Never mind, Kaiser just picked and reset for free.
And Micmac goes down in the meantime towards Coca-Collapse. Plan falling apart. Kaizu peeking for free, getting the reset. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. Yeah, not gonna work for who cares.
No, this is a straight 4-2 for GoHard. Mines are really not a map that who cares plays the best, I would say. And as you said, this is a really important match for GoHard. So we need to see how will they actually deal with who cares on Ghost Town, which we know when you are attacking and who cares will be attacking, they'll have an advantage. But we're still in this game. So let's see what will Senti do with his 100% of HP.
Yeah, he better make that HP work somehow. I mean, GoHard still has 6 tanks left standing. Stefan looking a little bit worse for wear. Down to 234 HP, but all in all, a solid hold from the boys from GoHard. Maybe if Halu didn't have so many bounces, I saw him do at least 2 bounces on screen, could have been slightly different. Slightly.
Still, I think they did a lot of damage, good damage on those tanks. It was just like 3 mouses coming at you, good players spanning their shots mostly. You're not gonna survive. Effectively, you're not.
Well, Pure the King is doing a very good job over here. Already up to 3,600 damage. Making all these tanks a little bit worse for wear. Bringing them down low, but not being able to kill them just yet. Nice shot there from Kaizu. Peeks out, picks up a shot. Pure the King picks up Stefan in the meantime, but now Negative peeking out. Kaizu perhaps coming out with the finish. Ooh, Pure the King just makes it around the corner.
I wonder does Senti understand there is 72 seconds till the end of the game?
Maybe
he's still on 100% and red line sniping there.
He has to make a move, but Coca Collapse is waiting, and so is Failware. You can see Failware sitting there, just waiting for Santi to make a move. Santi's going to try and snipe a mouse turret on 430 meters. It's not something that usually works out, and it doesn't look like it's going to work out today either.
No, this is not the best play he could have picked, especially because he's the only guy who is not on one shot in his team, but never mind. This game is fairly won by GoHard already, and the time is really ticking away. Nothing that Santi does now will change the game.
He only has one more shot in the chamber.
He'll not even reload on time.
He won't reload anymore, no. So
this is pretty much it.
Pure King did very well though. He has 4,300 damage right now. So
he was also in really brilliant position, and a lot of guys always think like, what is better now, VZ or 113? Well, when you want to play something with a turret, then it's 113 definitely. But if you want to play cooldown and a bit better reload, then you take VZ.
Good stuff here from GoHard, holding on their defense on mines, making it 4-2, bringing them on to match point as well. It's been a while that I said GoHard on match point.
Yeah, that was when they played the Suba in their first match. The next two didn't work out that well.
No, one could say that.
But still, here we are, 4-2. As we already said, Ghost Town will be the next map. This is a map where you can get capped, you can get outgunned if you're not careful, so...
Are we listening to them on Ghost Town, Mojo?
Yeah, we will.
Ah, it's going to be interesting. Always like listening to the teams speak, especially GoHard's.
Well, who cares is attacking, so we'll be listening to them. If
they better win the round.
So everything for your prognosis, eh?
Yes.
So you can say, I have one.
I have way more than one.
You do?
I have plenty of correct predictions, not just
in this season?
Not just in this season, but in the previous seasons
in
as
this
well.
Season.
And the grand finals.
In this season.
In this season, Mojo, I have predicted nearly everything.
Almost,
perfect.
Right? Almost.
Almost everything
almost there.
Perfect.
You almost even hit who wins the games, right?
I'm still working on that one.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Technicalities.
One day.
One day.
Honestly, my predictions are the greatest. They're truly amazing.
They're
Tremendous.
the greatest memes. I agree with that.
Coming from the guy that had 7 wrong predictions in a row.
I'm not even trying, man. I should just copy from production. They're always right.
And they're biased.
Yeah, but they're always right.
That's not true.
They even won Utopia yesterday. Come on, man. Like
they were wrong in the Who Cares match, though. They said 5-4 for Who Cares. They got 5-0.
True.
But now, Ghost Town, when GoHard played us against Utopia, it was lackluster. The team didn't sound motivated whatsoever on Ghost Town.
Honestly, in that moment when Papa Pavian found failure in last seconds of the game, was like, what was going on here? This is not going to be good for them at all.
I am always right, Ryan. Don't even say that. But now Ghost Town coming out between these two modular lineups as GoHard is defending and Who Cares is attacking.
They're attacking with that push B. We've seen it used usually to position behind instead of Bachat on that B0 position. Or on corners of the buildings waiting for people to cross, because that 2-second reload between the shells really allows them to track someone. Zafar is again playing with his Leopard. We will see how that works.
I remember yesterday, like the 2v2 between Utopia and GoHard. I really think GoHard misplayed that. I mean, when...
where was failure?
That's the thing. That's what I was thinking as well. If he wanted to hide, he should have hit like H7, H8, because that's the most unlikely. Or he should have just been at the C5, C6 corner. And
I think he should have just been there, and when Zafar tells him, okay, he's chasing me,
then
unload the clip in the back.
Then he peeks out. And if he turns the third, then Zafar peeks out. So I was thinking about that yesterday. I still don't understand. But
it was a big misplay, but it's their decision. Anyways, I7 here on cooldown here.
Look at the positions though from GoHard. I mean, Coca, Collapse, Nile, Failware, Kaizu, Stefan,
everyone is there.
Everybody is covering the south side of the map, and it's only Negative in his 113 who's in B3.
It's pretty much as they're guessing that the entire team of Who Cares will be on this time, and if they're not, they want to push as a group in their back immediately. Because in this lineup, when we watch it, Who Cares has only one tank they can actually press toward the cap effectively. That's an I7 on one cap. Of course, they can trigger a cap here, but this should not work out well for them.
I think Pashka will get peaked rather quickly by Coca Collapse. There we go, already Coca collapse, spots him out. Needs to be careful. Nile gets spotted as well, takes the connection there from Pure the King, who's been playing very solid on those heavy tanks, to be honest.
Pure the King is in a perfect position to play cooldown here from both angles with that I7, with a strengthened turret and better dispersion of the gun.
Stefan pushed up a little bit further in his bad shot. Has to be careful over there. He has to play against Gremek. Stefan seems to be in trouble. Gremek is on the run now, though. Stefan trying to get those connections, but left in that hold-on position over there. And there is autoloader staring him down. He can't leave. He cannot go away from there.
No, he has to stay now. He's locked in this position, but there will be a push by the remaining forces of GoHard really soon. And who cares know that, so they're moving back a bit. So about 1 KHP advantage here for who cares, so that's a good thing. And I think they will probably try to rotate to another cap now.
Does look like they are starting to rotate. Santi and Micmac staying in a trap though. And those T-57s.
Those T-57s, if they pen all shots in that fast-paced pumping action, they can shut down one tank entirely and pretty much cripple another in one salvo.
It would be such an enjoyable random tank if it didn't have to fire heat all the time.
Yeah.
That's my biggest downfall with it.
For me, it's like when they nerfed the mobility of 57 because it was much more mobile before, and it kind of killed the pleasure. But still, that reload is just imba. 20, how many? 20 second, 22, 23 with a call, something like that.
Yeah, something around there. Stefan tried to climb. Stefan decided he didn't want to climb. Dropped off. He's going to try again now. GoHard reading the rotation very well, though. You got to say they're already, you know, after that initial trade, they're coming back. They know that who cares most likely going to go for this #1 base, and they're already setting up to defend it.
They spotted it now, so let's see. Both Zafar and Stefan are going up for sniping position. Gremek taking a lot of damage here.
Oh, because he's pushing forward. He pushed into that little house position. He spotted Stefan out as well. Now, Gremek, we've seen this before being used. Last time it did not work for the team that used it. I can't remember who it was because the bot didn't peek out.
It was done from the start. It was done from the start, and he was already shot. And
then he peeked out and went down to one shot.
Out. Actually, it might have been Zafar. I can't remember. But I remember he peeked out and took like half of the HP.
Now, GoHard seems to be grouping up for some sort of push, though, Mojo. I mean, they're all gathering around. Nile coming closer, Stefan as well. The 57s are there. But who cares is waiting as well.
His Force is coming closer. I wonder will he try to pre-aim on Zafar maybe and shoot him down if he peeks.
Well, Mojo,
or he's just going to cover this.
It does seem like the entire lineup from GoHard is starting to make their move. And let's listen in with who cares and see how they hold this off.
No ale mają 3. Ale tam nikogo nie ma.
Tu będą wjeżdżać, wjeżdżają tu w nas.
No to wlazmy tych z tyłu musimy.
Zajmiecie?
Ja mam jeszcze jedno. Ja mam jeszcze jedno.
No morę.
Skocz do szlaka.
Bat.
Dobra.
Ja mam 5.
Dobij ktoś bata, dobij bata.
Traka ma, ja ładuję.
Kurwa, beczkę ktoś mi skończył? Z WZ ktoś będzie robił? Dobra,
ja mam 15 sekund.
Jestem safe.
Ja mam 15 sekund. Ja mu 100 zadałem. Ale strzeliłby do ciebie. No ale WZ by mi jebnął.
Ja tu nie mogę.
Dawaj, Cem, ty musisz.
To tą WZ po prostu strzelę teraz.
Musisz.
To chodź, dobra, jadę. Jadę.
Skończę.
No ile ty masz?
Heavy minus 1.
Czemu nie tutaj brak?
Weź w las. Ile masz? Ja mam jedną ostatnią. Ja ładuję. Dobra, GG. Czemu ty nie robisz pestek?
Mojo, that was the fight, and GoHard
was just better in... They were just better in focus fire. We could see it was quite obvious. Like with Pashka lost 90% of HP on his mouse in the first 5 seconds of engagement. And he pulled back with 100 HP. But you know what this means, Ducky?
GoHard won!
This is my first right predicament, man. Like the result and the win. Hallelujah! That's what it means.
Mojo, even a broke